Recording in progress.
Good evening, guys. Matilda, good evening. Patrick, good evening. Christine, good evening. Damilola, good evening. We also have Sintu, good evening. Kadijat, sorry, good evening. And Elise, Marianne, Fanny, Chinwe, good evening, all. So we're just going to give a few more minutes for people to join and then we can start. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Once we begin, if you have any questions, please ask them by typing into the chat or by raising your hand, just so that we can keep it organized. Okay. Some people have shared some questions on the group chat. Thank you so much for doing that. We're going to go through those together very shortly. And then we'll also do some other questions together and also some hazard perception training. Okay. And if anyone's got their test coming up soon, I would encourage you to message me if you need any last minute advice or any last minute help. If you're not sure about something, definitely make sure you're going to the group chat and posting it there so that people can help you. And and I'll encourage you as well to make sure that you've gone through the online course before you do your test. Okay. Make sure you complete everything in the online course before you do your test because everything in there that you're going to learn is what's going to come up on your test. All right. Let me just show some of you who are new. Welcome to the group. I'm going to show you just quickly how to use the platform where you're going to be learning from. And I'm hoping most of you have access to this already. If you don't, you should be set up by today or tomorrow. Okay. Let me just share a different screen. So if you look here, we have whenever you join in, you're gonna get sent to this place here with the community section. This is where you're gonna see updates, and you can also put updates in there yourself, and you can ask questions here as well. But if you want a quick question or a quick answer, probably best to do it on WhatsApp because, like, Elise asked this one about the dual carriageway and the difference between dual carriageway and motorway, but she only got a response recently. But I'll do this if you got this kind of question. Probably best to do it on the WhatsApp group and then you can get a quick answer. But just for your own information, since you're here, the difference between a motorway and a dual carriageway, because this is something that people ask all the time. There's not many differences apart from um, on a motorway, you can't turn right, but on a dual carriageway, you can. On motorways, there's not going to be any roundabouts on the motorways, but on dual carriageways, there are. Motorways don't have traffic lights controlling them, dual carriageways do. And generally speaking, on dual carriageway, there's no hard shoulder, but on motorways, there is. Okay, so let me just send this to you guys so that you can take a look at this yourselves when you get a chance. So take a look at that when you get a chance, okay? And yeah, if you have any questions during the session, please don't be shy. Remember, everyone is here pretty much doing the same thing as you, learning about the theory tests, so don't be shy to ask questions, okay? The more you understand these questions, the easier it's going to be for you to pass. All right, let me just go through some of the questions that you guys have sent in on the group chat. We're going to go through these together, okay? You're waiting at a pelican crossing. What does it mean when the red light changes to flashing amber? So let's type the answer in the chat. Okay, so most of you are saying C. C. Good. So this one is basically give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. See, people that are already crossing the road, you give way to them, yeah? What's wrong with D? Wait for the green light before moving off. Why do you think D is wrong for this one? So waiting for the green light before moving. So when it comes to exactly, it's not a pathing crossing, yeah? Where or toucan crossing. When it comes to flashing amber, you can treat it the exact same way as a green light. Let me show you what that looks like, okay? So if we go to the learning platform and we have a look at pedestrian crossings, and I'm going to show you what a pelican crossing looks like and what to do when the light is flashing. So you see here, we approach the pelican crossing and the light starts flashing. If there's no one crossing the road, you can start moving, okay? Even if people were waiting to cross the road, so let's say we approach it, any people that are already crossing, we have to let them cross and finish crossing. Anyone waiting on the side now has to wait for the next light to go green or to go green for them. But we go because we treat the same, that we treat the flashing amber the exact the same as green. So even if there are people waiting, we can start moving, which is why the answer D was incorrect. Okay. So pelican crossings, the flashing amber is the same as green. What about steady amber? Steady amber, you just have to, it's a stop, yeah? Steady amber, you're stopping just like any other traffic light. Yeah, so steady amber, you'd stop in getting ready for the red light. Okay. What signal should you give when going straight ahead at a roundabout? Since you're saying B, log is going B as well. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. Good. Now, this answer sometimes is written in a different way, okay? Sometimes they might word it like signal left just after passing the exit before the one you're going to take. So it's a bit longer, the wording, but it means the same thing. Okay, let me show you what that looks like and what they're talking about. So if you go back to our learning platform and type in, this is talking about signaling at roundabouts. So signal. Okay, so we have this roundabout here. And when it's talking about going straight or second exit on this roundabout, let's say you're coming from this direction here, second exit or straight will be this exit here. And it's asking, how do you signal for that? And the answer would be you'd signal left around here somewhere. So on the approach, you don't signal anything because if you signal left, people are going to think you're turning left when you're not. If you signal right, people are going to think you're going over this way when you're not. So instead, you don't put any signal on. This lets people know that you're going towards this way. But then also when you get here, you want to let everyone around you know that you're coming off the next exit. So you signal left now. This way, if anybody was waiting to cross the road or this person is waiting to come into the roundabout, they can see your signal and then they will know, okay, this person is coming off this exit here. Okay, so you'd signal left before you exit. That's the answer that we got before. Or the way it was worded another way was signal left just after the exit before the one you're going to take. So this exit is the one before you want to take. So you signal as you're going past it, and then that way people know you're coming off the next exit. Okay, so you're gonna see a lot of questions will have a similar answer but written in a different way. Just as long as you understand what it means, it shouldn't really matter, okay? The road is wet. Why would a motorcyclist steer around drain covers while they were cornering? Since you're saying B, Katya saying B as well. Lots of you are going for B, yeah? Okay, so B is the correct answer to prevent the motorcycle sliding on the metal drain covers. So You might be wondering what that looks like or what that is. Let me just show you quickly.
Please, the word is too tiny. Can you zoom it so that we can see it very well?
Okay, one second. I think you can zoom in yourself as well on your if you're on your phone, you can also zoom in, yeah. So if we have a look here, these are metal drain covers, and when they get wet, they can get very slippery. So motorcyclists don't like to drive over these when it's raining. Okay, they'll try to go around, and so you as the driver need to be aware that they might do that. They might be swerving around drain covers just to avoid slipping. Okay. What should you do if your car doesn't have ABS and you need to stop in an emergency? Okay, lots of you are saying D, 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 D. Good, D is correct. So this person chose use the handbrake only, but you don't do that in an emergency, okay? Using the handbrake only is not going to be safe. And this question is talking about when your car doesn't have ABS. This is one of the unseen questions if you are new here. Some of you that are been here, you know this question is one of the unseen ones because the one that you're used to usually talks about when your car has ABS, but this one's saying your car doesn't have ABS. And therefore, to replicate what the ABS does, you need to pump the brakes. So let me just show you. So if we go here and let's go for ABS. Yeah. So when your car has ABS, this system here, which is designed to minimize skidding, you brake, let's say you brake really hard in an emergency, the brakes will activate and then your ABS will activate as well. And when your ABS is on, it's going to brake for you, let go of the brakes, brake for you, let go of the brakes, brake. And that's what the ABS does, but it does it really fast. Yeah. And you won't notice that it's doing it. It just kind of does it by itself. And then you can then steer the car and control it and come into a nice smooth stop. Whereas if your car doesn't have ABS, if you brake really hard, your wheels are just going to stop moving and then that could cause the car to skid. Yeah, if your wheels just stop spinning and you're going quite fast, you're not going to be able to control the car that well. So to help you the wheels not lock up, you're going to have to press the brake, let go, press the brake, let go, press the brake, let go. So it's basically doing the same job as the ABS, but this time just with your foot. And the action there is called like pumping. So you're pumping the brakes up and down. So that's why the answer for that question would be to pump your brakes only if your car doesn't have ABS. Yeah. ABS is anti-lock braking system. So it stops the
Sorry,
wheels from locking up.
sorry,
Okay.
Mark. Sorry. Can we see the option for D? It's not
D.
showing there. Yeah.
You should be able to see it. If you zoom out a little bit, you should be able to see it. Because if I go like that, then I can't really. That's the bottom of my page. Can you see it? Can everyone see option D or no? Pump the brakes. You can see
Yes,
it.
we can
Okay.
see.
All right.
All right. So what's the option? What's the right option?
Pump the brakes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, pump the brakes. No worries. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road? Okay, lots of you are saying C. Good. Yeah, so C is correct. Um, this person chose B. What would be different about the question for the answer to be B?
Carriageway.
Not single. Good. Yeah, so if it was a motorway, or dual carriageway. Yeah. So basically, yeah, so not a single carriageway. That's right actually, yeah. So motorway or dual carriageway would be 70. Okay. Not single carriageway. Just in case any of you guys might not know the difference between them, let me just show you quickly. Okay. So if you go back to the learning platform and we're talking about speed limits. Yeah. So on a dual carriageway, which has, it's important to understand the definition of it first of all. It has a physical barrier separating the two sides. That one there is going to be 70 miles per hour. And motorways have the same barrier as well. That's why it's 70 miles an hour too. Yeah, motorways have the same physical barrier between the two sides. That's why the answer for the motorway will be 70. But on a single carriageway, you don't have that physical barrier separating the two sides of the road, and therefore it's going to be a lower speed limit because there's nothing separating the cars going past each other quite fast. So that's why it's a lower speed limit of 60. Okay, so single is going to be 60, dual is going to be 70, motorway 70 as well. And then if you're talking about towing a trailer or a caravan, all you have to do then is minus 10 from those numbers, and it gives you the answer. 60 for dual, 50 for single carriageway if you're towing a trailer or caravan. Okay, let me send this to you guys so that you can have a look at this as well. Somebody asked, what if the car has ABS? What would the answer be then for this one? So what if the car has got ABS? What would the answer be then on this one? So if the car's got ABS, the answer for this one would be A. Yeah. Well done, everyone saying A. You'd press it continuously and hard. But also, when you get that kind of question, the answer really would be promptly and firmly, meaning you press the brakes hard or press the brakes quickly and hard. Okay.
Hey, Mark,
Hello.
I want to ask on the speed limit.
Yes, please.
When you are on the dual carriageway, you need to speed it up to 70, right? So you must not exceed 70. You must just drive 70, or you must go 70 downwards, or you can drive maybe 70, 80, and 90 as well.
No, 70 is the maximum.
Or 70 is the maximum.
Yeah, that's what it means by when you say national speed limit, that's basically saying the limit is how much you can go. That's the fastest you can go.
Or you must not pass
So
70, right?
there's no way in the UK you can do more than 70.
Okay.
Yeah, 70 is the maximum.
Okay, cool.
Okay. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road if you're towing a trailer? Let's answer this one together. So Mariam is saying D. Julie saying D. Christine is saying D as well. Yeah, so lots of you are saying D, which is correct. So the person chose C, but C would be correct if they weren't towing a trailer, isn't it? So you have to be really careful in this kind of question here, because sometimes people will read the first bit of the question, what's the national speed limit on a dual carriageway road? And then they'll stop reading. Yeah, but if you read the rest of the question, if you're towing a trailer, that changes the whole answer, isn't it? So when you guys go for your test, don't skim read questions, okay? Which is what a lot of people do. They think they've seen the question before, they think they know the answer, so they just read a few words and they think, oh yeah, I know this answer is 60. And then on your test, you're not going to see this, by the way. You're not going to see that this is the question that you got wrong. So you might be thinking, which question was it that I got wrong? You won't know because they don't show you. So make sure that you're reading word for word before you answer. What should you do when you're approaching traffic lights that have been green for some time? Okay, so lots of you are saying D. The person that sent this in, thank you. They chose maintain your speed, but D is the correct answer, yeah? Be ready to stop. Because if it's been green for some time, what does it mean? What could it mean? What could it mean if it's been green for some time? What could happen next? Yeah. It could change to red soon, isn't it? Change to red. So that's why you want to be getting ready to stop if it's been green for a long time. Okay. What does this sign mean? I think the person already chose, or they've already been given the right answer here. Right-hand lane is closed. And I'm not sure who it was that sent this in, saying, can you please explain this? If you look at this diagram, yeah? Oh, you sent this, Patrick, yeah? Okay. So this diagram represents the lanes, either on a motorway or a dual carriageway. So you've got 3 lanes here, the left lane, the middle lane, and then the right-hand lane. Okay. And it's telling us that the right-hand lane is closed. If this little thing was like over here, then that'll be telling us that the left-hand lane is closed. But at the moment, it's on this side. So it's telling us that the right-hand lane is closed. Okay. You're saying you got it, but you need more explanation. As in, you still need me to explain more, or you understand now? Okay, no. Okay, awesome. What should you do to reduce the risk of your vehicle catching fire? Okay, lots of you are saying B. Check out any strong smell of fuel. Yeah, good. So if your car smells of petrol, let's say you're driving around, you shouldn't be able to smell any petrol when you're driving around in your car. But if you're driving and then inside your car smells of like fuel or diesel or petrol, whatever fuel you're using, then you need to make sure you investigate that, because that could cause a fire. There could be a leak somewhere, which is why you're smelling it so strongly. Okay. That's what this question is talking about. So if you smell fuel inside your car, then you need to check that out before you are at risk of catching fire. When must your vehicle have valid insurance cover? When must your vehicle have valid insurance cover? Cynthia is saying D. Christine is saying B. So lots of you are saying B. Katia is saying B as well. Okay. You'd be surprised to know that actually D is the correct answer, yeah? Not B, but D. You don't need insurance to sell the car. Yeah, if you sell the car, the person buying it needs to worry about insurance, not you. But before you tax the car, you need to have insurance. So when you go to get your car taxed, you have to have it insured first. Okay, but not before you sell it, because if you sell it, the person that's buying it, they will need to be insured for it, not you. Does that make sense?
Excuse me.
Hello?
But I got a car. I got a tax before the insurance. I'm trying to do insurance now.
Wait, you managed to get the tax before you got the insurance?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm trying to insure it now.
Normally it's the other way around. Yeah, you should really have it insured before you tax it. Yeah, that's why it says here you must. Whenever you're looking at like the questions, if it says must, then it's the law. If it says should, then it's like guidance. Okay, so if it's a must, it means it's something that you have to do. You have to follow it. Okay, just be mindful of that. How will you benefit from following the manufacturer's service schedule for your vehicle? Okay, lots of you are saying C. Good. So when he's talking about your manufacturer's service schedule, it's basically talking about you taking it to a garage and getting it looked at and getting some things changed, like oil change. Yeah, those things, oil changing, oil filters, air filter changing, those kind of things will help your car to remain, when it says reliable, it basically means remain good. Yeah, so it's not going to break down. That's what it means by your car will remain reliable. Okay. What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? Okay, lots of you are saying B. This is confusing you, yeah? This was confusing you. Okay. I'm going to unconfuse you right now. So when we're talking about all these liquids in your car, yeah? Antifreeze is basically something that's going to stop your engine from freezing up when you're on like a really cold day. That's not going to make you crash if it's too low. Okay, it's not going to make you crash. Battery water is just liquid inside your battery. If there's not enough in there, it's not going to cause your car to crash because it's just going to affect your battery. Radiator coolant is another liquid that you put inside the radiator in your car. That's going to affect how hot the car is going to get, but it's not going to affect whether you're going to crash or not. But if you let the brake fluid get too low, your brakes are not going to work properly. And your brakes are the things that will stop you from crashing because they help you to stop the car. So therefore, of all the liquids here, only the brake fluid is the one that you have to make sure is at the right level. Otherwise, if you don't, you can't stop the car, and therefore that could cause you to crash. Okay, does that make a bit more sense? Because all the other liquids, you shouldn't let them get low, but if you do, they're not going to cause you to crash. But the brake fluid one is super important because that affects how your brakes work. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Okay, so that's the end of that one. Any questions with those ones? I think someone said explain this one a little bit more, which was this one here, yeah? So what I was saying was these lines here represent the lanes on a motorway or a dual carriageway. And then if they close one lane, they'll let you know by putting this on top of it, this little line on top. Okay, so this means that this lane is now closed. So when you see this sign as you're driving along, you know that the right-hand lane is closed. So you need to move to the middle lane or the left lane at some point before you get to the end. Okay, so that's what this sign means. This is an electronic one. Sometimes they'll have it as a metal one, but this one's electronic. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's do a few more. This time we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a look at some questions, but without any options next to them. And then you're going to have to try to answer them without having to choose from answers, okay? 1 second. Let me just share a different screen. So this one here, so there's not going to be any options to choose from, but I want you guys to think about what the answer could be and then type it out. It's not a spelling contest, and also it's not about getting it word for word, but just roughly what the answer could be so that you're really thinking about it without having to look at the options. You're on a one-way street and want to turn right. Where should you position your vehicle when there are two lanes? Lal is saying right. Chinwe is saying in the right-hand lane. In the right-hand lane. Let's have a look. Good. Well done, guys. So in the right-hand lane is correct. So on most roads that are two-way, let me show you a picture so that you can fully understand what I'm saying to you guys. 1 second. One-way road. Okay. So on most roads that are two-way, like this one here, yeah, if you're turning right, you need to still be where the blue car is, which is the left-hand side of the road, because this side is for cars that are turning in from here. Okay, so cars turning in need this lane. But if you're on a one-way road like this one, no one can turn in here because this road is only for cars that are coming this way, going forward, where the yellow car is, where the red car is. So in this case, because we can use both lanes to go down the road, we should be using the right lane when you're turning right and the left lane when you're turning left. So that's what that question is talking about. Well done, everyone who said the right-hand lane. Which color follows the green signal at a puffin crossing? Okay, lots of you are saying amber or steady amber. Let's have a look. Good. Yeah, so amber is fine as well. Amber or steady amber is good. Well done, guys. You're driving on a clear night. Which light should you use if the national speed limit applies and there's a steady stream of oncoming traffic? Okay, lots of you are saying dipped. Good. Yeah, we're not going to use full beams because those are going to be too bright, but dipped headlights are going to be great for that situation there. You're approaching a zebra crossing. What should you do if the pedestrians or if pedestrians are waiting to cross? Okay, lots of you are saying be ready to stop. Good. Slow down and prepare to stop. Very good. What's the purpose of road humps, chicanes, and narrowings? So lots of you saying traffic calming, to slow traffic down, to reduce traffic. Okay. Or reduce speed or reduce traffic. To reduce traffic speed. Yeah. So traffic calming, not so much to reduce traffic itself, but to reduce the speed of the traffic. Okay, to slow everyone down, aka traffic calming measures. Okay. What does it mean if the electronic stability control indicator light comes on briefly while you're driving? Okay. Good. This ESC system has been activated. Excellent, guys. You're waiting to emerge at a junction. Your view is restricted by parked cars. What can help you to see traffic on the road you are joining? Windows reflection, reflections in the mirror, reflections in windows, reflections on the cars. Yeah, so reflections of traffic in windows. Good. So if anyone's not sure what that looks like, let me just share with you quickly so you can see exactly what we are talking about here. 1 second. Just going to share a different screen. Okay, so if we look at this scenario here, we've got the red car. You're in the red car trying to come out of this junction and join this road here. You can't see this gray car or silver car coming down the road because these green cars are blocking your view. But if you look in their windows or the side of the doors or even the house window or the shop window, you might see this car's reflection in their windows before you actually see the car itself directly. So that's what it means by using the windows for the reflection so you can see the car before you actually see it appear here. Okay, so as a driver, you're going to be doing this a lot once you start learning to drive and once you get your license as well. Okay. You're about to reverse into a side road. What should you do if a pedestrian is waiting to cross behind your car? Gonna wait, give way, let them cross. Good, yeah. Give way to the pedestrian and let them cross. Well done, guys. You are approaching a mini roundabout. What should you do if a long vehicle in front signals left but positions over to the right? Just saying stay well back. Francesca's saying stay well back. Wait. Good. You're well done, guys. Keep well back so that you can give them room to do their thing. Why should drivers be more careful on roads where trams also operate? Someone's saying trams can't brake, trams can't steer, trams don't stop, trams cannot stop. It's actually they can't steer, yeah? They can stop, but they can't steer. All right. So let me just show you quickly. Trams have got brakes and they can stop, but they're not capable of turning because they are running on tracks like this. Yeah, so therefore they're not going to be able to turn to avoid hitting you, but they can brake. Yeah, so they've only got one option really, which is to brake, but car drivers, lorry drivers, motorbikes, they can turn as well to avoid hitting things, but tram drivers can't. So that's what it's trying to tell you. Okay, they still have brakes, but they just can't steer or turn to avoid you. What will happen to your car when you drive up a steep hill? What will happen to your car when you drive up a steep hill? Steering's going to be heavier, okay. You use a higher gear, okay. Is this one hard? The answer is the engine will work harder. So some of the comments coming in late. Yeah, the engine will work harder. Okay, well done. So the steering is not going to be heavier, and also you don't want to be using a higher gear for going uphill. Okay, if you've ever ridden a bicycle before, yeah, especially the bicycle with gears on it, you would know that the lower gears are much easier to pedal up the hill with. That's the same for a car. Yeah, whenever you're thinking about cars and gears, think about it like a bicycle because they work on the same kind of principle, yeah? If you're trying to go into a high gear uphill, your car's going to struggle a lot, okay? So you want to really be using lower gears to go up the hill. You are driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog has cleared? Yeah, so yeah, good. Turn them off as long as visibility remains good. Okay, well done. So I would encourage you guys to do that kind of thing a bit more often, where you're kind of thinking about the answer before you've actually looked at the options, so that you're not just used to looking at the question and then blindly looking at the answers and thinking, oh yeah, I remember that one. This is the answer. Actually aim to understand the question properly so that you're able to answer it even without looking at the options. Once you get to that level, and you can do that for most of the questions, it becomes really easy to answer questions. Yeah. Thank you, Lau. It becomes really easy to answer questions. Okay. So I recommend you guys do that sometimes. Okay, we're gonna move on now to some hazard perception. Has anyone got any questions before we move on? Okay, so when we're doing this, if you are already good at hazard perception, please don't change what
Sorry,
you're
Mark.
doing. Solomon?
Yeah, I want to ask a question about the changing of the GI you told us before the last question. You said if you're going uphill,
Yeah.
it's better to go with the lower gear. For example, we're driving in gear 3 and we are moving up to a hill. Are we going to change to gear 1 straight or gear 2 can go up a hill?
No, not one. Probably going to two, yeah. Or if you're going fast enough, you can leave it in 3.
If you're going faster, like you're moving faster without no stop, 3 can go along
Yeah,
the hill.
yeah. But you wouldn't want to some people think the higher gears are better for the hills. So let's say they're going up hill in 3rd gear, they might think, oh, let me go into 4th now, but that would be a bad idea because then the car will struggle. If anything, you want to keep it in 3rd or maybe even go down to 2nd. But going
All right.
up a gear on a hill is going to be very bad because the car is going to struggle too much.
All right, that means if I'm coming with 3, it's fine for me to just keep on moving with 3 in as much I'm not slowing down.
Exactly, yeah.
I just want to know.
But
Thank
it
you
really
very
depends
much.
on the speed though. Let's say you're doing like 70 miles per hour up a hill,
Uh-huh.
then obviously you're going to be in a higher gear than 3, yeah?
Because
But
there was a time I was trying to drive up a hill and it's just like a sharp bent corner, but it's just like the hill is just going up and down, keep going on and on. Then I keep like when I pass through the bend, then I try to change back to is it gear 2, try to turn it back to gear 1, and I keep seeing the hill is still going floppy. It's just like a sharp corner.
yeah, it
So
all
I'm
it
just
all depends on the
confused.
car, on the type of hill it is, how fast you're going. So with gears, it's not just a straightforward yes, gear 1 or gear 2 or gear 3. There's lots of different things that will affect what gear you're going to be using. But just as a general rule, don't go too high up the gear when you're going uphill. But then what gear exactly would depend on the type of car you're driving, how fast you're going, what kind of bends there are, how steep the hill is, how many people are in the car. It just depends on a lot of different factors.
All right.
But generally,
Thank you
don't
very much.
go up too high when you're going uphill because your car will struggle.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
If it's automatic, the car will do that by itself. It will know which gear to go into by itself. The automatic cars, they can feel how heavy it is going up the hill. Then it will change to a lower gear. So all you have to do is press the gas. That's why automatic is really easy for lots of people because you don't have to think about that. You just have to press the gas, and then the car will decide exactly what gear to go into for you. Okay. So with the hazard perception, two main questions that you need to understand very well before you get good marks. One of them is when or no, what are we looking for? That's the first question, yeah? What are we looking for? That's number one. And then number two is when do we click, which is kind of linked, but if you understand these two questions, the hazard perception is super easy. Okay, so what we're looking for are things that are going to slow us down. Yeah, thank you, Francesca. Thank you, Lau. Yeah. So things that are going to slow us down or make us change direction, which means they're going to make us slow down or make us turn left or right to avoid hitting them. Okay. And then when we actually click is when we know that thing's going to affect us. Okay, so sometimes it might be something that we can see from far away, but we don't know if it's going to affect us or not. But once we know it's going to affect us, we can start clicking. And a lot of the clips that you're going to come across on here and on your test as well, you'll be clicking pretty much straight away because you can see straight away that thing's going to affect you. That's for most of them, but a few of them are not like that. Okay, but let's do this one first together. Please unmute yourself unless you are in a noisy area. If you're around children or TVs that are loud, please just keep yourself muted and use the chat. If you're in a quiet place, then please unmute yourself so that we can do this together. Once you see the thing that's going to affect us, just say the word now and pretend that you're clicking by saying the word now. Okay, so I'm going to play the clip. When you see the hazard, press or say the word now, yeah?
Now.
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 Thank you, guys. Okay. So let's see now exactly where we should have clicked. So at the beginning, not much is going on. But in the middle lane, nothing's coming from the slip road. I think a lot of people here focus on the lorry, but nothing's happening with the lorries so far. Then we get the car coming from the right.
Now.
As soon as it starts indicating, you can pretty much start clicking. Okay. So with this one, it would be like this. Click, click,
Yes.
click.
Click.
Yeah. Notice that I've done 3 clicks there. Click, click,
Oh,
click.
yeah.
Yeah. So you might be wondering why I do 3 clicks, but let me show you. So right now we've seen him indicating. And if I was super fast with my hand and I clicked here and didn't click anymore, how many points would I get?
0.
1.
I would walk away with 0 because this is before the
Oh,
scoring window, yeah? So the way the hazard perception works is you're only going to get points in a certain time. Okay, so before this point, even up to hit this point is worth 0. Here is worth 5, but here is worth 0. So 5, 0. So but we don't know that this is 5 and this is 0 because there's basically no difference here, is there, guys? Between this point and this point, there's no difference really, but that's why you have to do 3 clicks. Okay. Otherwise, you're gonna walk away potentially with 0 if you do it way too early. Okay. And sometimes you might be just a little bit out of the scoring window. So this is just a fraction of a second before the 5 points. So to avoid getting 0, you do 3 clicks. So click, click, click. That way, the first click, even if the first click is like here and it's worth 0, second click might be like here, is worth 5. Third click would be somewhere like here, maybe worth 3. But you're gonna get higher marks this way. You're gonna get 5s and 4s and maybe 3s. Okay, this way you're not gonna get 0. Okay, but don't do more than 3 though. You don't need to do more than 3. So once you're done, click, click, click. There's no need to keep clicking now because you're gonna run the risk of the computer thinking you're cheating, and there's no benefit really to do more than 3 there. Okay. What's this person done wrong though? What have they done wrong here?
Cross 2 lanes on the left.
Good. That's one thing. There's more that they've done wrong that you might get asked on the question as well, on the theory test. They joined immediately. When you say joining usually would be from the left, but they haven't joined. They're actually coming off the motorway, unless that's what you mean, Lau, yeah? They're coming off too late. Yeah, where should they be right now?
In the middle lane.
In the middle lane.
Middle or left?
Or left lane, yeah, actually.
Yeah, they should be in the left lane, yeah. Remember that question says, what lane should you get into before you reach your exit?
Left lane.
Left
Yeah, you
lane.
come across that question before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the answer is left lane. So this car really, from like this area, from this distance here, they should have been in the left already from this far, behind the lorry. Yeah, they should have been behind the lorry, and then from here they should have been signaling left already, and then coming off. But they've decided to do it from all the way over here. Yeah. Another question you might get, which is linked to this as well. So since they've realized at the last second that this is their lane here, or this is the exit here, what should they do now?
Continue and find another route.
Good. Yeah. They shouldn't be trying to risk all of us by cutting across 4 lanes like this. Yeah. They should really have driven on to the next exit and then come off there, which is much further down, but it's much safer than doing this. Because they've made us brake, they've made the lorry brake. There could have been someone on the slip road already trying to come off. They could have forced them to brake as well. But really, they should have carried on. Okay. Let me test you guys quickly on your knowledge of reflective studs. What color would be the reflective studs here, where the car is now?
Green.
Red.
Okay. Some of you are saying green, some of you are saying red. Which one is it? Red or green?
Green.
Yeah, that one's going to be green, okay, because
Slit
it's
road.
by the slip road, exactly. And then here,
White.
Right.
That's
Good.
right.
and then this one here,
Also white.
good.
Yeah.
And then this one here,
Amber.
perfect. Good. So between the lanes, it's always going to be white. Even though there's like 2 here, it's still white because it's between the lanes, yeah? And then the one on the far hand right-hand side, that's the one that's going to be amber.
So where do we have the red?
You guys tell
Because
me,
I
where's the
thought
red
we have
one?
the red on the
Hard
left
shoulder
hand lane.
towards the
Yeah,
right, left.
red's going to be all the way on the left here, yeah?
Okay.
So on the edge. Yeah,
Okay.
so red is going to be here, green here, white here,
Yeah.
and then
Amber.
amber here. Yeah, yeah. If there were only 2 lanes, you'd only have like one white one and then amber. But because there's 2 lanes, that's why you have 2 whites. No, sorry, 3 lanes. Sorry. Okay. Awesome. And if it was like if it was in this situation, you would have the red here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The red would be here, yeah, because there's no slip road here, so you have the red here. Red, white, amber. Okay. Good job, guys. Let's do some more. And with this hazard perception, don't like rely on trying to memorize what the clip is. It's more about remembering the technique. Yes, so the technique of how to press and what to look out for, and then you can apply that to any clip that you get on your test.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
On the day, since you said that on the day when you're doing your test, would the videos be the same or different ones?
There'll be different ones more than likely. We've heard back from people saying sometimes they get the same ones, but
Mm.
they've got so many to choose from that is very unlikely that you get the exact same ones.
Okay.
But it's also sometimes you might get one or two that are the same, but most of the time it's going to be different ones, yeah?
Now,
Thank you.
Now,
Now. No.
Okay, thank you guys. Let's have a look now. So a few people said now around here. What made you say now around here? Anybody? Don't be shy, guys. If you're talking about the pedestrians, they are too far away and they're also like walking off the road into the pavement. And if you did click here on your test, this wouldn't be a problem, okay? So don't be scared if you click and then you realize it's not the hazard. Don't worry about that. You're not gonna fail for that, okay? Where you will fail is if you do it too many times. If you're clicking for everything that you're seeing, like this car here, and then some, I don't know, parked car, bend, sign, clicking all the time, clicking for those pedestrians, then you might fail. But if you click like for those pedestrians and then realize, oh wait, they're not really the hazard, and then you leave it alone, it's not a problem. And then you actually click on the actual hazard, that's gonna be fine. Okay, so this van reversing, that's the hazard that we're looking for, okay? So once, because it's quite close to the road and we're close to them as well, we can start clicking pretty much as soon as it starts moving. Okay, so once it starts moving, we can start clicking. So click, click,
Click, click.
click. And you notice I'm not doing click, 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 because you see, when the van moves, if I do click, 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 watch what happens, okay? Click, 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 and try again. Click, 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 click. Do you see? If I do it like that, I've done all my clicks before the 5 points even begin. But if I do it like this, click, click, click. Yeah, you notice that my first click might have been like here when it first starts moving, and that was worth 0. My second click was here when he's actually like moving a bit more, which is worth 5 now. And then my third click was here, which is worth 4 points. And because of that, the system's gonna give me 5. Okay, it's always going to give you the highest point possible where you clicked. Okay, and what you don't want to do on these is not click at all. So let's say you've got to this point here and you still haven't clicked. Like let's say you got to like around here and you still haven't clicked, but you can see the van is not stopping. He's still moving towards your path. You have to start clicking at some point here. Okay, so if you haven't clicked already before over here, and then you see him like here, I'll still click, 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 click. Yeah. That way, you at least get 2 points or 1 point. It's much better than getting 0. Okay. So I would like you guys to try that out if you are having issues with your hazard. Trying the 3-click method and making sure that you're clicking when you start seeing the thing that's going to affect you. If you're still getting low marks, start clicking a bit earlier. Okay. Any questions on those ones?
No.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be back here again on Thursday, same time, 8:30. I'm gonna upload this maybe tomorrow for anyone who's missed it or anyone who wants to rewatch it. I'll send the link in the group chat. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on Thursday, 8:30, and I'll probably see you on TikTok a bit before then as well. If you have any questions, you can always message me on WhatsApp, and please make sure that you're using the online course. If you're not on there yet, please message me on WhatsApp so that we can get you set up so you can start learning. All right. Otherwise, guys, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again. Have a good
Thank
night,
you.
and I'll see you
Thank
during
you.
the
Bye.
week. Okay. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye.